Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, then welcome. I saw one of you comment the other day because I said I wanted to change my intro and you were like, no, don't change it, I say it with you every time. So cute, I love it. But anyway, hi guys, I hope you all are doing really well. Today is Thursday for me. It's kind of a gloomy day outside and I thought what better of a day than today to do a Q&A. Wow, that like all rhymed. But I haven't done one of these in a while and I personally like watching them. I feel like you get to know the person who's talking a lot better and it's just fun. Also, sorry, I don't know if this setup is like too much because you can see the mirror. I'm trying to like cover where my camera is so you can't see it. Let me know if this setup you like it or you don't like it. Let me see if I can maybe actually, there we go. That might be a little bit better so you won't see yourselves, aka the camera. I asked you guys on YouTube. Next time I'll probably ask on Instagram, so go over to my Instagram, make sure you're following me so that you don't miss being able to participate in the future. But I asked you guys if you guys had questions and I'm just gonna go through and answer them. I have my coffee over here, it's about halfway done, and we're just gonna hang out, answer some questions and just chat. I want this to feel like we're just hanging out. You and I are in a room and we're just chatting. So I will go through these in no particular order. Let's just jump right in. The first question is, why did you start YouTube? I don't know if I've ever answered this or not, but I figured if I didn't, then here you go. I have been an avid watcher of YouTube for so long. Like in high school I watched it. I'm trying to think if I did in middle school and elementary. Honestly, yeah, I did, because I lived in Seattle when I was watching YouTube and I was in Seattle when I was really young. Long story short, I've watched YouTube for a long time. I have just found it entertaining. I think it's fun to watch. I specifically like watching people who I can relate to, whether they are around my age or they're interested in similar things or, you know, whatever that case is. I just think it's entertaining and fun, and I had always wanted to, like, I would, this is so embarrassing, but I would literally like sit and while I was doing my makeup or something, I would like pretend to like talk through it, or like as if I was talking to a camera, or like things like that. Like I just always had been really into it, but I obviously had never done it. And then last November, one day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I went to Best Buy that day, bought a camera and filmed my first video that day. I think I was just over like wanting to. Instead I was like, I'm just gonna do it because, you know, I'd always been like, well, people are gonna think it's weird, and it is kind of weird, but it's also fun, and like, who cares what people think, you know? So that's kind of why I started. Sorry, that was a long answer, but I just think like, I don't know, it's fun to like look back on those like thoughts and like, you know, the aspiration of like always wanting to do it and then finally doing it. It's just fun. Next question, a little bit random, but what is your celebrity crush? Also, I'm looking at the questions on my phone if you're wondering why I'm looking down. I don't know if you guys are gonna know who this is. He is from, I first saw him in Hamilton, but I didn't really think anything of him, and then I saw him again in The Heights. And if you guys have seen either of those, especially In the Heights, then I'm talking about Anthony Ramos. I think that's how you say his last name. I don't know why, but for some reason I think he's so cute. I am like personally into like people with darker hair and people with like tan or tanner skin, like not like super white. I don't know, just my personal preference. And yeah, I just think he's really cute, and I also like he's talented. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting like, I don't know, I feel weird. I feel like I'm getting red, even though like, yeah, because he's gonna see this video. But anyway, yeah, I think he's really cute and I think that he has a good voice and I just enjoy watching him. All right, I moved you guys down a little bit so I could not sit on my knees, which is what I was doing before. But next question, I'm hoping I don't make this video too long, so I need to like get going. Next question, tattoos and meanings. So I have 3 tattoos. First one is right here on my arm. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that was my first one. They are Roman numerals and they are my parents' birthdays. I decided I was getting this the day I got it and I do love it. I wish that the font was a little bit smaller, but I do love it and like it's meaningful. So that was my first one. Second one was this one on my foot. Hold on, I have a sock on, so hold on. All right, I'll pop up a picture of this one. It says Ohana though. My family and I all got matching ones in Hawaii one time we went. If you don't know, Ohana means family. And so my mom, dad, and my sisters and I all got that one. And then I wanted one that was like just for me because I had gotten one for like kind of like my parents and then a family one. So I have this one on my like little, I don't know what this is called, but that one right there, it's just a rose. I had just always wanted a rose tattoo. I think they're really pretty, so I got that one. Funny enough, if you guys know Maddie, if you guys have seen my channel, she's my best friend and her middle name is Rose. So I like didn't even put 2 and 2 together, and then after I got it, she was like, oh, you got a tattoo for me. I didn't, I got it for myself. But so now I say that it's for her, even though it's really not. But those are the 3 we have. I know Yusuf and I want to get one together soon. I'm not going to share what that is yet. Maybe I'll bring you when we get it, or I'll just like show you what it is. But we haven't done that yet. So a 4th one will be coming somewhat soon. Next one is biggest pet peeve. When people chew with their mouth open, really bothers me. Or like mouth noises, like really freak me out. I have a pet peeve about myself. I breathe really heavily. I don't know if you guys have noticed, I hope not, because I try to cut it out when I'm editing. But when I'm focused on something, I'll just like breathe really heavily. I think I get that from my dad. Yeah, I don't know. I just like breathe really heavily, and that bothers me about myself. I feel like there's one more, but I can't think of it. Oh, being late. I cannot stand being late, or when people are late. It's just like almost like a respect thing. I don't know, it just really bothers me. So I try my really best to not be late. Now I just like really like to be there on time, or like being honest, like 15 minutes early. This is a good one. Someone asked, how different are you and Yusuf, and how does this affect your relationship? I think this is a good question, because I think it's important within a relationship to like talk about these differences and acknowledge them. But if you guys didn't know, Yusuf is my fiance. He was born and raised in India, and I was born and raised in the US. So I think that just even being, obviously like when you're being brought up and like your family dynamics and just like the things you do, you're already gonna have your differences, but then add on to like living in completely different parts of the world with different customs, traditions, and you know, things like that, that adds a whole new level of differences. And just, you know, you're raised completely differently. But that's also something I really love about our relationship, because I think it's cool to kind of like bring in both of our perspectives into one relationship.
I need to change.
Always ruining my clips. Speaking of the devil, I was talking about you.
Okay, sorry, Yusuf walked in, so I wanted to not film while he was in here. Anyway, I don't know exactly what I was talking about, but I was saying like, yeah, we grew up, I'm not wearing my jewelry, I just realized. That's okay. No, actually, I'm gonna get it. Okay, we're back. Also, yes, I'm wearing sweatpants, and also, yes, this video is all over the place. Welcome to my channel. But anyway, finally getting back to this question. I think it's totally normal and healthy to have differences between you and your significant other. Like I said, you were raised completely differently. You're going to have these differences, and I think that like that's totally fine. If you didn't, like, you know, what would be the fun? Like, it's fun to incorporate those differences into your relationship and kind of work around them, and like show each other other ways that there are to do things, or like other ways of living, or like just different experiences that you've had. But where I personally would draw the line is like, if you don't have similar or aligning like morals or overall like larger goals in life or values and things like that, I think that's where those would be like non-negotiables for me. So for example, like if Yusuf didn't want kids, I really want kids one day, not anytime soon, but one day. So like if he didn't want kids, like that would be something that I couldn't be with someone who doesn't want kids. And so I think like as long as you have the same values and like, again, like big goals in life and morals, then I personally don't see a problem with there like being differences within a relationship. But obviously like that's something that you would have to like tackle in your own relationship. That's not even really what this question was asking. The question was asking is, how do we handle it? We'll have arguments, which is normal, but I think we've also been together for long enough now that we are continuing to get better and better about communicating and knowing what each other needs, and knowing when, like, if we're arguing about something, for example, that like I'm really passionate about and he doesn't care, like he'll kind of let me have it, and vice versa. And not in a way of like, you know what, fine, like it's my fault or whatever, but you gotta like give and take where you can and compromise, and I think that's like super important. Another thing I will say is that Yusuf was raised by a very strong woman, his mom. I love her, and she like shaped him a lot to be the person that he is today, in the sense that like he really respects women, and he has a lot of just, I don't know another word, but again, respect for women and what they do, and like he like really values me, and I think that has a lot to do with the way that he was raised. So like even if we're arguing, he still respects me, and there's certain lines that like we don't cross, and every relationship has those boundaries, but Yeah, okay, I need to stop talking about this because I could talk about this all day. The next question was, how do you and Yusuf handle your differences, which I kind of already went into, but yeah, we'll just talk it out. Sometimes, like, yeah, we'll have arguments and we'll kind of go our separate ways for a little bit, meaning like a couple hours or something, or even like a few minutes, and then we'll either talk about it or we'll kind of agree to move on. I feel like some people will be like, well, then you're just like shoving that under the rug and not tackling it, but I feel like you can't dwell on like every single thing. Like some things you have to just let go. You have to like agree to disagree and move on, because otherwise you're just gonna like go in a circle. We also are both very like strong-minded people, which, you know, could obviously like cause clashing sometimes. I'm a firm, like, I will stick up for what I want or believe in, and he's the exact same way. So we have had to learn to, like, again, accept sometimes to agree to disagree and then move on. But we actually, like, we really do get along very well. Obviously we wouldn't be together otherwise, but like we just really complement each other in a lot of ways, and so we're able to, I don't know, we just work. Clearly that's why I'm engaged to him. Wait, I do have a little funny story. Sorry, this video might be long, but I have a funny story about our like differences. For the question before, it was like, what are your differences? I can think of one like specifically, like, so he was raised just obviously different than I was raised, and so like in my upbringing it's like you say please, you say thank you, and you use your manners for like everything, whereas him, it's more like he uses his manners, don't get me wrong, but in just like different ways. Like I remember his mom and his brother and like his family came to visit, and that was the first time I met everyone, and I noticed they would be like if they wanted someone to give them something, they'd just be like give, or like take, or like go. It's almost like a command, and they'll use like one word. It's just like very like to the point, like go, or like come, or something like that, almost like you're commanding a dog. And so I remember being like, oh, that's like, if I ever was just like go to my mom or to my dad, like I would be like, I would never say that, you know, I'd be like, can you please not, or you know, whatever. And so that was something that I was like, wow. And so now I do it to him like all the time as a joke, but I feel like it's those little things that like you're just raised differently. So yeah, I don't know, that was just a fun little story. Moving on to a completely different topic. Someone asked, does pineapple belong on pizza? Personally, I don't know, maybe your people are gonna either unsubscribe to me or subscribe to me by me saying this, but I'm a cheese pizza type of girl. That's really all I want on my pizza. I don't really want other things, partially because I only eat like chicken and fish. So if there's like pepperoni or sausage and stuff like on pizza, like I wouldn't eat that, but I just love a good old cheese pizza. I feel like when people typically would have pineapple on pizza, they'd have it like Hawaiian style with ham, which I've never had because I don't eat ham. So personally, I think no, but I can respect when people want it, and I'm not like, oh my god, ew, because like it's so common, you know? So I don't eat it, and I personally wouldn't enjoy it, but to each their own. Next one, have you traveled outside of the US and favorite place? I've traveled outside of the US a bit, not like too much. I went to Greece with my dad, and we stopped in Paris on the way home. That was like my favorite trip of all time. I've also been on a decent amount of cruises where we've like gone to the Caribbean, or we went to like Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, like the Dominican, a bunch of like those Caribbean type places. And then I've been to Canada, I've been to Mexico a bunch of times, and I think that's pretty much it. I was supposed to study abroad in Spain, but then COVID hit. So yeah, that's kind of the extent of my traveling experiences. Like I said, Greece was definitely my favorite, but that's, I think, for two reasons. One, because I was like with my dad and we got to like spend a lot of time together, but two, he spoiled me, so we had like a great time there, and we just really lived it up. It was a lot of fun. So those, I would love to go to Greece again. Yusuf and I really want to go, and I also really want to go to Italy, to Paris. I want to go to Morocco, Thailand, Japan, I think. Oh, I really want to go everywhere. I also want to go to Africa, so you know, clearly I'm all over the place. All right, I think I'll end the video with this next question. What was your undergrad college experience like? Good question. I feel like I don't really go too much into that, because when I started this channel, COVID had already hit, so I was like, you know, doing everything from home. But my undergrad experience was fun. It was different, I will say, because UMass Boston is partially, or I honestly primarily, a commuter school. It's beginning to finally like be more of a on-campus type like traditional college experience, but when I first joined, it was highly commuter. I was lucky enough to live like right next door to campus in an apartment with a bunch of roommates, but because of that, like it's a very different experience. I'm pretty sure like the first frat, for example, was just created like a couple of years ago. I don't even think they have sororities. Like it's just very different. Instead of that, it's like the sports teams are kind of like the like frat and sororities, I would say. So like instead of going to like a frat house for a party, we would go to the lacrosse house. Freshman year, I definitely like went out, especially like when I first got to school. I went out a decent amount and just like had that time. I think it's important to like have that time and to like experience it, and because then when you're done, you're like, I'm good. I don't need to go anymore like lacrosse parties, you know? Like it's just, you're good. Yeah, I did have that time and that was super fun, but then I started dating Yusuf the end of my freshman year, and so that like definitely made a big difference because like I didn't have really the desire to go out as much. Not that I was going out looking for guys, but you know, it's just a different type of experience. I will say I started working for the recreation department at my school my freshman year as well. It was like February of my freshman year, and that was like a whole thing within itself. So basically like I was working at like the fitness center and things like that, and that's actually where I met Yusuf, and that's where I met like a lot of my friends that I'm still friends with now. So without that, I think I would have had a completely different college experience. Like we formed like a whole new family there, which was really fun, and like those are the people that I hung out with more towards like the end of freshman year and kind of beyond. But yeah, I have so many stories within like freshman year of college, and I mean even like the rest of the years, but yeah, I could talk about that forever, so I'll leave it at that. I don't want this video to get too long. I think it already is getting quite long. Sorry I was very blabby. I didn't even have that much coffee, but I'm just like not a lot to talk about, I guess. I like these types of videos because I feel like I'm just like chatting with a friend. I feel like it's fun. So if you guys want me to do more, let me know. I also really want to do like an assumptions video where you like assume things about me and I'll say whether they're true or not. So if you want me to do that, you can leave any assumptions down below or DM me them or whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, I did make a new intro, so let me know what you guys think of my new intro, like the pictures or like Polaroid things at the beginning. Yeah, let me know what you think. But if I haven't talked your ear off, then subscribe so we can talk more in future videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.